Pray, pray, pray for me and fast. Baby, pray, pray, pray for me and fast. Baby, pray, pray, pray for me and fast. Baby, can we pray, pray tonight? Baby, can we pray, pray fast? Oh, baby, can you pray? It's every time you make contact. It's only to the end, so pray tonight.
Oh my god, Green Lonely, that's you.
A veces es mejor estar solo.
I love you, girl, pero no puedo amar porque you broke my heart y eso no va a cambiar. And I tell by your eyes that you've been drinking too much. Baby, nunca va a ser igual, nunca va a ser igual. I love you, girl, pero no puedo amar porque you broke my heart y eso no va a cambiar. And I tell by your eyes that you've been drinking too much. Baby, nunca va a ser igual, nunca va a ser. Bebé, nunca va a ser igual porque todo ha cambiado. Pasé de cafuné a no estar a tu lado. He llorado muchas lágrimas que ahora he surfeado. Mejor estar solo que mal acompañado, porque estoy atrapado en mis pensamientos. Nunca te he dicho todo lo que yo siento y he recordado el daño que me has hecho y he olvidado esos bonitos momentos. I love you, girl, pero no puedo amar porque you broke my heart y eso no va a cambiar. And I tell by your eyes that you've been drinking too much. Baby, nunca va a ser igual, nunca va a ser igual. I love you, girl, pero no puedo amar porque you broke my heart y eso no va a cambiar. And I tell by your eyes that you've been drinking too much. Baby, nunca va a ser igual, nunca va a ser igual.
What they talk about, yeah, we were wild and free. Take a moment right here, feeling like it's out gear. Driving towards the sun with a rose and a gun. Feel the wind in my hair, going nowhere I swear. Like an outlaw on the run, dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running, no. Hold on, don't let go. Running, running, no. Keep running. Told my boss that I'm done. Had no luck with my mom. Say, what will you do with your life? You know it's hard to survive. A cigar in my mouth. Maybe guilty but proud. Now I'm an outlaw on the run. Dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running, no. Hold on, don't let go. Running, running, no. Keep running.
One's a company, two's a crowd, three's a party coming, move around like the first rush when the school is out, when the booze is up, when the sun is down. Enjoy the ride, get some pillows in the Chevy. Slide a dial, lay low, hitting heavy. Take your time, let me know when you're ready. Couple months I've been messing with this steady. Open for plans tonight. Lost in the afterglow. Oh, girl, your love for me keeps calling me, so I'm calling you. Love, give me life
cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet.
Welcome back, everyone, and all to the Battle for Scotland. Day number 4, and Counter-Strike is on the menu. My name is Counterfeit, here alongside Teddy. And Teddy, originally we had the University of Glasgow versus the University of Strathclyde coming out with a best-of-5 grand finals. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to bring that. What have we got instead for these good people?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to make sure everything is clear for everyone. The University of Glasgow had to forfeit. They were not able to fill every player slot for today. So that means that Strathclyde University are going to be the champions for this Battle of Scotland online season. However, we're not leaving you guys empty-handed. We have an amazing show match for you guys. First of all, while the University of Strathclyde, they're still going to be playing under the name of the Strazzers, and then they'll be joined by the Glasgow Caledonian University, called Super Cali in this case. And yeah, I'm thrilled to be here.
Yeah, and for anyone who's joining us for the first time, here in day 4, just a quick reminder of what the Battle of Scotland is. 15 universities, 13 colleges across the country, battling out to become the Scotland's best across a variety of titles.
Yes, there's so many different games that are covered here at the Battle of Scotland. We've had Overwatch 2, Valorant, League, Rocket League, as well as CS here, of course. And yeah, I'm thrilled for some CS action today. I think we have a solid match on our hands, and I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy. We've actually got a rematch between yesterday's Overwatch and today's Counter-Strike. Strathclyde and Glasgow Caledonian playing against each other 2 nights in a row. Strathclyde did win that first time and definitely come into this one favoured. But we'll see. Certainly, I think Strathclyde now, having already secured the crown, it's going to take a little bit of pressure off them, and I think we could forgive them for being perhaps less focused than they would have been in a regular grand final.
Yeah, I think that, like, on paper, this would be a slightly one-sided match, but the fact that it is a show match means they're going to be a little bit more relaxed, play a little bit more with fun in mind. But we got our roster here ahead of us. For Super Cali, it's going to be Slippers, Tropic, Exo, Cass, Haxton, and Marma. Then on the other side for Strazzers, we have Cal, Millar, Evo, Bilbo, and Gibbo.
Yeah, so we're looking to see, particularly, as I mentioned before, these are the rosters that are, the best ones that the teams can field at the moment. So it's very rare for anyone who's coming into this new to the scene that these 3 universities we kind of had in the forefront of our minds so far, Glasgow, University of Glasgow, Glasgow Caledonian University, University of Strathclyde, they all play together in the Battle for Glasgow, which is kind of like a smaller version of the Battle for Scotland. So we'll get to see them going up against each other, again down the road. But for these 2 teams, they've not just got the battle they played yesterday. They are very familiar with each other. I think, as you mentioned, for Caledonian, they didn't have the best of brackets come to this one, so definitely on paper the less favoured. But they're the team with the most to prove here as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely so. I mean, at this point, the Strathers, they might be celebrating already early, since they did manage to win the original season. But yeah, as you said, there's a bit more of an element to have something to prove, perhaps, for Glasgow Caledonian University. And I think that can play a big role here in our match ahead.
So we'll be going on to our vetoes in just a moment, as our players will be. So previously we had a best of 5. Now we're going to have just a best of 3. So these maps are going to be very, very important, particularly for our friends from Super Cali, aka Glasgow Caledonian University. So let's head across to our vetoes and see what they've got for us here.
Right, Inferno was banned out by the Strassers, I believe, and then we have a ban from University of, not University, sorry, Glasgow University. No, I'm getting confused. Glasgow Caledonian University. Sorry, this is all a lot at once. Banning out Overpass and first pick here of Anubis for the Strassers.
Yeah, I'm going to be wrapping it all up on Nuke if we do get all the way there. I think for Strassers, I have to imagine there's there's a lot of expectation on them here to just kind of come in and absolutely run through these first couple of maps and make it a 2-0, because I think in a scene which is really based around a lot of the same teams playing against each other again and again, for Strathclyde, I think if they lost this series after winning the entire event, that's going to put a real big asterisk on the night for them here, especially considering, they didn't get to play out the full best of 5 and fully prove everything to themselves.
That is true. I mean, they got, all the way until here in the season, so I'm guessing they are still very happy with the result, but this would be a way to kind of cement it more in the history. I think that what's interesting as well here is that it's going to be the Strassers, I believe, that are starting on City side for the first 2 maps on Anubis and Mirage, and we will actually have a 9th round to decide things out on Nuke for whoever starts on CT or T.
Yeah, I'll be really fascinated to see, particularly on Anubis, how aggressively it's being played early on, because we're discussing a little bit of Anubis coming to this one, though. We've got a lot of possibilities to just, to throw, to boldly throw yourself up the map and just, try and just pound it into either of the sites with full unmetered aggression. But, I mean, for Glasgow Caledonian, definitely adds that on dogs. I think with them playing on the T side to start us out in the first 2 games, at least puts the ball in their hands to say, you know what, they're going to be dictating the pace. They're going to choose where the fights are going to be. Hopefully, they'll choose wisely.
Yeah, definitely. So there is a chance that they decide to just go for some heavy early pushes towards either side of the map. I'm really curious to see how it's actually going to be played out here. As you mentioned, it is 2 teams that have some good knowledge of each other and how they like to play. So I'm hoping to see some nice counterplay as well being brought out just by the sheer amount of knowledge that each team has of each other.
Oh, for sure. I think for all of our teams, it's definitely going to be about trying to get in those reps, taking those into the future battle for Glasgow. As as noted, with this being a show match, there's nothing on the line here apart from the pride. I think, Strathclyde have a tremendous amount to lose, more than Glasgow Caledonian do here. As I said, Glasgow Caledonian definitely didn't have the best of run through the tournament themselves. There certainly was very harshly fought in the lower bracket. For Strathclyde, they only lost out to Glasgow Uni in the second round of play, and then fought back through the lower bracket straight back into the grand finals again. So they haven't tasted too much in the sense of defeat. But yeah, we'll see how it ends out working out. Hopefully, we do get to see the full series going through here. And I hope that Glasgow Caledonian get to show at least a little bit of what they're made of.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And the thing with Super Cali as well is that since they're facing the champions of the Battle of Scotland, realistically, I mean, they got nothing to lose here, right? Either they beat the champions or they lose to the champions, which they already have as well. So it's really just a win-win for them. And I'm hoping they see it that way as well and take this as an opportunity to just bring out their best gameplay.
Oh, for sure. Do let us know in the chat who you're here to support. Again, our thanks go out to Charge Esports for hosting us all here today. We're getting that game 1 here started out as soon as is possible on Anubis. Let's see. Just before we go in, a quick reminder, of course, as well. We mentioned that we've already had League of Legends, Valorant, and Overwatch 2, which these teams were fighting each other in before. Rocket League Best of 7 will be ending out the battle for Scotland for tomorrow, so hopefully you'll come along and enjoy that. I mean, I'll tell you particularly, I'm glad that it's Rocket League of all games that are going to end out as definitely the game which I think most people can most easily enjoy as an esport.
Yeah, it is going to be a very accessible game as well. And I mean, I'm very excited to watch that tomorrow. CS is a little bit more try-hard, perhaps a little bit more niche, but at the same time, it's the pinnacle of FPS. And yeah, I'm all down to see how this series is going to bring us some new and exciting stuff.
For sure, and of course we'll be looking out for players who are trying to steal as much limelight as possible. I think we've got, hopefully, I mean, I'm not guaranteeing this, but I'm hoping we're going to see a series with our teams with very little to lose, as you mentioned, pulling out perhaps some more unusual strategies here. For Strathclyde, but perhaps they'll try things they wouldn't try in a regular competitive best of 5. For Glasgow Caledonian, I want to see them doing some weird stuff. I want to see, I want to see them trying to throw their snipers through the air. I want to see them just doing stuff you've never seen in a CSGO match. Or CS2 match. Oh my gosh, I'm still in CSGO land. But yeah, I want to see Glasgow trying something weird here, because honestly, the odds are stacked against them.
They certainly are, but I mean, as you said, there's nothing to lose, which means a lot of fun to be gained. And I'm very much hoping we do have some trolling and some original strategies. I want to see some big stacks as well on certain bomb sites or some traps. I want to see some Zeus kills as well, which is kind of on the border between trolling and competitive right now. So I think we'll have a fun series ahead of us. And yeah, I like the fact that it's best of 3 as well, because it means we'll have a certain variety, but it's also not going to be a whole best of 5 of a show match. So I think that production here found a really nice silver lining.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's something wonderful, because for the University of Glasgow, that's, I've seen some of the footage from before, is played on land. The crowds there are absolutely fantastic. I think this series will really give both Strathclyde and Glasgow Caledonian the opportunity to create memories, to create bitter resentment that will carry over into the LAN, and be the kind of revenge that will be taken in the future.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful way to just kind of celebrate the end of the Battle of Scotland as well for Counter-Strike 2. But already a heavy push into A. Let's see if they can push through that smoke. Nice Zeus skill to open things up, but a double deagle kill from Axton as well.
Yeah, I'm really liking the start here. Super Cali, aka Super Charity, getting a really good start off, showing no respect whatsoever, but Straz is far back just as hard, and we're back to the 2-on-2 very quickly. I'm glad to see, Teddy, that our teams are game for a scrap from the very beginning.
Yeah, well, the thing as well is that the R8 has been played competitively lately, and so has the Zeus, so they're not really the troll sort of things that you would have thought of like a few years back. But nicely done here already by the Strazzers, closing out that 2-on-2 to lock in the pistol round.
Yeah, Cal and Miller definitely doing a lot of heavy lifting in that round. I have to think for Super Charity that they're going to be a little bit disappointed that they weren't able to quite completely close the door there, but still, they certainly didn't seem intimidated. Let's have a look there at the tail end of that round, because Strazzers did such a fantastic job of cleaning up.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, originally it was not looking all that promising, as they were heavily outnumbered on the bomb side, as you'd expect from such a heavy rush. We do have some potential action here early on into the round, and it's going to be Cal to open up the scoreboard here with a kill onto Axton.
Yeah, we're seeing quite a variety being picked up here. Shotties coming in, 3 of them across the 2 teams. Super Charity taking a little bit more punch than I would have maybe expected. But yeah, Strazzers are showing no mercy whatsoever. And I think, okay, Mama does pick up at least the 1 kill. But I would be surprised to see if Mama gets out of this one alive.
Yeah, 1v4 here, and an eco is not really gonna be
an
easy task. Going for it though, but so far not really paying off. Getting one headshot, maybe a second one, but not just yet. He's getting pinched as well from both sides, and there's no getting out of there alive.
I mean, we got to give Mama some credit there for the attempt, at least. If we saw, I mean, to be fair, Mama at this point has as many kills as anybody on the Strazzers squad those first 2 rounds. So that's some good news, and I think that's why we're seeing Mama having the AK thrown into their hands for this round. I think this will be a big one for Super Charity. Hopefully it can leverage Mama to get in their first round win.
A bit of a scrappy economy here, and we are going to see a full commitment, however, from Super Charity, purchasing whatever they can, really. With a Nova as well here on the defensive side. Let's see if we can see some shotgun action. Shotguns have been one of the highlights of the meta lately. First shot not really gonna connect. Follow-up does get some damage, but he does get 1. Gets a second, actually. Miller was a crossfire here to help out.
Yeah, I really like that as well. They're just softening up the targets. Charity definitely trying to work around the short-range power of the shotgun, but ultimately left down with 2. Mama's still in play with the AK. Haxton with the SMG as well. As we see a lightning striking twice. Kaz gets another one. We're back to 2-on-2. Super Charity aren't quite done yet.
Well, eventually they do get yet another Zeus kill onto Cass. Let's see if there is an opportunity for Haxton to turn this one around. 1v2 is doable. He does have a gun as well, but yeah, but he's a bit in an awkward position here, because if he wants to move, he's gonna have to reveal his position. So if they're watching him, they're gonna see him.
I think Haxton was waiting to see if anyone from Stratus would just walk past to equalize the numbers, but of course we do got to bear in mind the A site is open for the plant right now, but it looks like Haxton's going face to face. Anyway, does manage to clip Miller. Now it's going to try and break away, takes a long range fight, gets the shots off, and the plant will at least be good. I don't know if Haxton can stand against both Miller and Bilbo though at the end of the round.
Yeah, they're playing it together as you really want to when you're outnumbering your opponents like this. The smoke is gonna help. It's in the perfect position as well. First kill was the Zeus. Only 1 player left now for him to clutch up this round, but is it gonna be possible? Miller is pushing forward and Haxton does it.
Glasgow Caledonian with the first round win. Haxton. Hacks by name, hacks by nature. That was a fantastic finish out there. And hey, there's some hope in here for definitely the underdog squads. Let's watch that again, because that did not look good for quite a while.
Yeah, it was a strong early round here for the Strassers, but I mean, Haxton really popped off towards the end, was able to somehow get out of that very awkward position and then single out the 2 remaining players from the Strassers. Early push here outside of main, not really gonna result in much as a trade, but the weapons here are gonna be all over the place. 2-on-3 now, so a bit of an advantage for Super Charity, and no one near enough to help out just yet. Another opportunity for a Zeus kill, and he's not gonna be able to connect. Let's see here, and a 2-piece with the deagle from Evo.
Damn, absolutely ice cold. Tropisco opens up from close range, and it's down to the 1-on-1 shotgun versus the machine gun. Gibbo around the corner, spots the target, knows that time is up. Strassers shut down Glasgow Caledonian. Damn, that was very close though.
Yeah, fully embracing the Zeus meta on both sides, and so far it is going to be a little bit in favor of Strassers as they pick up their 3rd round and shut down any sort of momentum that Super Charity were trying to build out.
Still though, I think so much of this was Evo just being absolutely cool under pressure, because yeah, easily that could have been a complete overrun for Super Charity. Honestly, I thought they completely had that round.
Yeah, it was looking good. They got onto the bomb site early, and they also punished that that push from Strassers outside of B main. But I don't know if those sort of mistakes are going to be easy to replicate here, as Cal just completely mows down Tropic.
I mean, this is, this is with the machine guns coming in here. The sheer volume of bullets you can put down to lock down an angle. We have got Kaz getting very aggressive. The bomb is dropped to the feet of Miller, which means Super Charity are in a super big heap of trouble. Strassers out on the prowl with most of the remaining Super Charity players locked down in mid.
Knife battle in the mid here as Haxton misses his scout shot.
It's what
Miller
we were
gets
promised.
back into safety. Yeah, I mean, we're getting what we were asking for, that's for sure.
I mean, I guess we did kind of promise it for the players. But hey, they've delivered. We've seen something weird. We've seen knife. But to be fair, I guess there have been a little bit more in the way of knife versus sniper battles in the more recent past. But hey, Cal finishes off the job. It's 4-1. Super Charity, I think, have at least got a little bit of money in the bank for this round.
Yeah, it is easier to knife a scout rather than a Negev. So that might be a lesson here to learn for Super Charity, as they were trying to get their revenge, but didn't quite manage to get it done this round. I'm sure they will try again by the end of the match.
Checking out the bias for Super Charity. Yeah, we are seeing the girls coming out in... We're seeing a lot of lockdown here. I do like it from the Strazzers side as Miller gets clipped heavily and taken down by Kaz.
Wow.
Nice close range sniping from Haxton. Super Charity. They are ripping into Strazzers.
Yeah, well, it does help that half of Strazzer's team rushed out of B main with their knives in their hands.
They were hungry for blood.
They're capitalizing, you know? They're capitalizing on the Super Charity side of things as they nicely pick up that round and slowly are closing the gap, only 42 now.
I think what it was is Miller was like, all right, team, my knife, beautiful, perfect. Just follow me. And, run out with your knives out. Sometimes it works. Sometimes, sometimes that round happens.
Well, this round is looking like a 5 dual Berettas here, or rather 10 dual Berettas, I guess, on the side of Strazzers. Going for a bit of a stack and actually all pushing through the same spot on A. Is that gonna work out?
It seems
so far. They got Gibbo, so got Marma, so that's a good start at least so far. But can they really get more? Slippers gets Cal, and eventually it is 4-on-3. 3-on-3 now, as Cass gets a nice trade, and Slippers is making sure to give the man advantage back to Super Charity.
Wow. Honestly, I mean, we had knives, now we've got the dualies. 10 guns are maybe just better than 5s, Teddy.
They might just be, especially if you wait for them to reload to push, and somehow Cass was not expecting him to come back from the same angle, and that works out very nicely for the Strazzers. A force buy of 10 dual Berettas that somehow won them that round.
Oh my gosh. Hey, well, this is a show match. We're here to give y'all a show. Strazzers have definitely done that. It looks like we might be seeing a slightly more standard setup here for them after that last round, which went so incredibly well. Over on Super Charity side, they're having to make do with what they can afford. Kaz only on with the AK in hand, but it's an even trade of kills to start us off.
Yeah, that shotgun fight at long range is not really something that you want to get yourself into. But he had committed, so he was stuck in that position. Tropic is sneaking up into bomb side B. So far, not able to find any of the CTs. Nice pickup from Gibbo onto A. Might get a little bit confusing here, as we do have an awkward Zeus trade. Not getting the kills with the Zeus, but afterwards they have to go back to their main weapons, and that seemed to be just as chaotic as the Zeus's.
Oh ho ho! Kaz and Tropico, though, they're controlling the corners very well. We're down to a 1-on-2. Kaz barely alive. The bomb is down there in the water, but nobody's covering it right now, so Kaz should be able to do what we saw Super Charity do before, which is at least scoop up the bomb, get a weapon upgrade while you're there, and actually, maybe not back off to make the plant on A again.
Is the M249 really a weapon upgrade? I'm not entirely sure.
It's a bigger gun.
That is true. You know, if you're it's
You're
like the
club someone with it.
The TikTok where you have to like trade something like bigger or better.
Exactly.
I guess it is bigger, so it works in this case. Let's see though, as they do allow him to plant the bomb, they might be a little bit confused as well regarding where to go, because they're still heading towards A. Since they're completely in the middle of the map, they don't really know immediately where it is, which will buy a little bit of time for Cass. Regardless, it's still a 1v2 with only 24 HP. He's gonna need a bit of a miracle.
Okay. I mean, I like this. So Super Charity, before they got into trouble, did fall back to A. The molly is pitch perfect. Kaz just barely escapes getting his goose cooked entirely. The defuse is given in time. As you can see there, yeah, the problem with the machine guns, you can't really get the kill immediately. Strazzers take the round, but they will give up the plant, which, honestly, for Super Charity was I think was the best reasonable outcome.
Yeah, they did what they could with the situation at hand. I mean, I'm questioning the switch towards the M249 just a little bit, because you kind of, if you're low HP, want to have that opportunity to one-tap with the AK and maybe try to just win one of those fights, and suddenly you're back into 1v1. We do have them lining up there for Cal as he picks up a nice two-piece early on into the round, but Marma's nade is going to be putting an end to that show, at least for the time being.
Yeah, Super Charity unfortunately do end up dropping the bomb right in front of B main. So Kaz trying to blind fire. At least we've got a couple of rifles with SMG in hand. I think Super Charity. I mean, if they go back for the bomb, I think they might be able to just grab
they're in
out.
for a surprise. They're in for a surprise. If they
Don't go in there! Don't go in there! Oh no! They never expected a pose.
That's giving me some Dust 2 vibes.
Oh my gosh.
Well, somehow the tower strat is working out here. Might not be T-spawn on Dust 2, but it works regardless, and Gibbo gets the final kill here onto Cass to close out that round 9. And Strazzers are picking up a slowly but growing lead.
Oh boy. I do appreciate the cheerleader style formation play out of Strazzers there. I think if you're looking to intimidate your opposition, one person's scary, 2 people are scary, 4 people 2 stacked on top of each other. That's the epitome of terror.
Yeah, well, what I said before the match started, I was hoping to see some stacks. Oh my god, he's behind him. Oh, he only got 1. That is very unfortunate for him.
Wait,
and actually,
what?
this push doesn't work out at all. Cass somehow turns that into a 2-piece, and at the end of the day, it's a 2 on... Actually, 3 on 2 now? Can they figure this one out? Axon is low HP Slippers down to 1 as well. Eventually, it is all Haxon again, but he has closed the 1v2 before.
Oh, not this time. Bilbo just walks in and slaps him down. Oh my gosh. Talk about an incredibly brutal start out here. 8-2. Strazzers definitely dominating here. I mean, to be fair, this is Strazzers' map pick here of Anubis, so we'd expect to see them do well, but as you said, that particular fight went nowhere near as well as I would have expected it to for Strazzers. I was ready to see Super Charity turn that one.
Well, it started quite poorly, despite having like 5 targets on screen. The run and gunning just didn't really seem to work out with the P90, and I mean, this initial push was a 3v5 at some point in favor of Super Charity, so if they were able to keep that man advantage, maybe they could have turned things around, but Slipper's unaware. Gonna get caught off guard, and eventually we do manage to bring things a little bit more even. A nice pickup from Haxon again, and it's gonna be man advantage for Super Charity now.
I mean, Haxon just solo cleared the B site. The only problem is that they're by themselves, while the rest of the team presumably was setting up for a feint towards B, which would turn into an actual A plant, but it was a bold play from Super Charity. I think they've actually got this round.
The molly kill onto Haxon. Yeah, that was absolutely perfect from Bilbo. Is that going to be enough? A 2-on-2 now. And still with T's in control of the bomb site, as well as bomb. They should be able to at least have a slight advantage here. Is he going to check the angle? He does not, and he gets caught by Marma.
I mean, this is the time for Super Charity to clean up the tail end of the round. Evo makes it a 1-on-1, but Kaz gets the 3rd round in for Glasgow Caledonian University. 1 more to go on the half. Certainly, it's going to be a tough comeback for Super Charity, but if they can get this round at least, we can maybe keep the smallest thread of hope alive.
Yeah, it's all about damage mitigation at this point here. Let's see if Super Charity can make something out of that final round. So we do have a 4-op, 1 scout setup on the side of Strazzers. The Autonoob, however, is available here for Cass, and might do some damage here if they peek him, and he's gonna lose that fight. Well done, Miller picks up the opening kill.
I mean, if Super Charity can actually get onto the A site here, I think they can make this unusual strategy, let's call it, from Strazzers. Very hard to pull off, but lovely grenade work. Hooks down Gibbo, making us 4-on-4. The plan is good, and Strazzers, I mean, they're going to have a tough time advancing with a sniper platoon.
Bilbo, close up sniping, finds the first onto Tropic. Needs 2 more still. They are isolated, flashed out as well, and someone is defusing. Whiffs just shot. Axton gets a 2-piece. Is that enough? They're sticking to defuse. Do they have time? It's so close, but they managed to make it work as Miller gets a stellar ninja defuse for a final round of the half.
Oh my gosh, you can see Cal and Miller definitely standing out from the half there. 13, 15 kills. I mean, it's been a pretty substantial beatdown so far, but hey, hopefully at least we will get Super Charity being able to end out this map with at least some good rounds. I mean, you know, we have seen some pretty good plays coming through. I still remember Mama and the Hexton clutch from before, much earlier on. We'll see. 9-3. Second half starting up.
A perfect position here for the dualies, but actually Marma picks up a nice kill through that smoke. Bilbo, bit of a daredevil here, and Cass is there to greet them. A nice pickup from Cass, as Miller is going to be putting a bit of an end to that kill spree.
Still, though, a pretty nice start here for Glasgow Caledonian. 4 versus 2. As I said before, the dualies' power was unleashed in the first half and proves itself here again. Miller down to the last shreds of life. Uh-oh.
And knife battle. Yeah.
I mean, you're drawing a knife at the end, you say, you know what? If you shoot me, I'm going to die, so I might as well try the knife fight.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I mean, I've rarely seen knife fights being, or self-preservation, but I guess it is a strat. And yeah, unfortunately it didn't quite work out here for the Strasser. Super Charity picking up another round, trying to close the gap, but they have a big comeback still on the menu here if they want to make this series a bit more competitive.
Yeah, I mean, we know not to take too much for granted as Strassers go in with a full head of steam, blitzing into mid. And we can see that the A site is not actually defended by Super Charity. We got to see them scrambling to get back into position, but Strassers are on site already.
Oh, nice shot from Haxton. He's looking for another as well, but not quite able to find that connection just yet. Dropping. Did find Evo. Turning things into a 3-on-2 here, but Cal and Miller both low HP. And there you have it. Marma to close it out, and Super Charity picking up another round. Haxton committing a bit of a Sui here into his own Molotov, but hey, I mean, I guess it's good for the economy of stressors.
I mean, it's a way to give a tip to your opponents where you say, you know what, you did a good job in the previous round, have a little bit more money. Still though, Haxton is definitely standing out along with Kaz on the Glasgow Caledonian team. Haxton with 14 kills. Of course, in Strassers, Miller with 17 and Cal with 15. The numbers are of course higher, but so far so good. This has been in these 2 rounds at least, a perfect half for Super Charity.
So despite having the bomb plan, Stressors are opting to go for a bit more of an eco round. Just really that MP5 that is being brought over, and so far we have a bit of a long-range battle here from Marma on the USP, as he doesn't really have the range with that shotgun. Let's see if we get a pick here early on from Bilbo, actually taking down Slippers with the R8.
Wait, what a second, managed to grab a second as well. Super Charity do manage to absolutely rinse for the rest of it, but still, I think Strassers in particular have proven to us, no matter what kind of loadout they've got, they're still ultimately extremely dangerous.
A 2-on-3, Cal making it a 2-on-2, a bit of a chance here, perhaps, for the Strassers to make a play. They have control of A. And so far, the bomb actually is not quite under their control. Cass has been holding that very carefully. Let's see what the strategy is with 35 seconds. A bit of a surprise here for Bilbo, not expecting Marma. A nice pickup here to make things even more complicated for Cal.
I think Cal's I was going to say, it feels like Cal's pretty done. But again, underestimating Kaz with the 3k out of this round. And why not make it for the second we mention him?
The nade kill was flawless. Beautiful Kobe here to lock in that round. And Super Charity are doing a little bit of a comeback here. Slowly coming back. 9-6 now. Let's see if they're able to keep that momentum up, or if Strassers are going to shut it down and try to actually put some closure on this opening map.
Yeah, I'm really glad to see Super Charity, particularly Kaz there, showing off some good utility skills, because it's been working very well for Strassers up until this point to be the difference makers. As we've got another aggressive push, this time in towards A. Close range fighting. Haxon grabs hold of 2. Oh my gosh.
What a magician on that Mac 7. And a bit of a heavy flank coming true. But so far, it seems like Strassers are able to punish them very nicely. Cal was a big pickup onto Cass, and it leaves Marma all alone.
Wow, talk about a turnaround, jeez. Yeah, Cal and Miller rocking up both on the 19k so far. Plant is good. This should be Strassers getting their first T round of the half. Unfortunately for Super Charity, I don't think they did quite as much damage as they were hoping for, as Cal finishes off the job. So Super Charity, I mean, they've got a lot of money in the bank right now, but they drop everything coming out of that round.
It was nicely done by the Strassers, and yeah, as you mentioned, money not going to be the greatest here, but does it really matter at that point, since whether it's a buy round or an eco round, we're seeing a lot of shotguns, we're seeing a lot of Negevs, and a lot of Zeuses, which you can easily buy with very bad money anyways. So, I don't know if Super Charity cared just as much. A heavy push outside of B main is not really going to be paying off, but at least they get to keep their life.
Yeah, B site being pretty well defended here by Super Charity. It looks like Strassers are actually hesitating maybe a little bit as Slippers walks out and just gets destroyed. 3 kills in a row, though, means Super Charity get wiped out in spades. Last one standing is going to be Haxon, who was able to clutch out some pretty good play from before, but he's a known quantity now, and I don't think the Scout's the tool for the job.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit complicated. They're hunting him down, and might even maybe try to go for a knife kill here if they get to him. Let's see. They're getting close. The taser kill from Haxon, but Gibbo is there with the trade, and eventually making things 11-6 for the Strassers.
I think that, honestly, I admire what we've seen from, Strathclyde. We expect to see them doing some pretty good stuff. Even though we've seen some odd rounds from them, they've been making it work very consistently. Super Charity, I really like what we've been seeing here in this game 1 of our best of 3 show match. They haven't shown any intimidation at all against the team that we can see, at least here on Anubis, has very much got their number. This time round, we'll hopefully see something else a little bit unusual. Super Charity might be outflanked as the entire squad heads on to B.
Yeah, they were not expecting that heavy push this early on. That means that right now, bomb site B is completely up for grabs. Skibble trying to cut off that rotation, does manage to get information, but no kills just yet. The Glock fight somehow be won by Cal as well. Cass gets Gibbo, and it's a 4v2 that is not looking too promising here for Super Charity.
Yeah, I mean, as we're saying, they're certainly game for a scrap. Super Charity doing it, I suppose at this point, just trying to bleed as much money out of the hands of Strass as possible to stop this big momentum swing, which would bring the map to the University of Strathclyde as Haxon walks forward, no fear, through the smoke, 1, lucky with 2, but gets a knife directly to the gut.
Nicely done. Match point, or rather map point, here coming up for Strassers. So far, I feel confident in their ability to closing out Anubis. They've looked vastly superior, but then again, we have seen a bit of everything, and in that chaos, maybe Super Charity can grab a few more rounds.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're really just warming up for our second map, Mirage. But, honestly, we've seen Cal and Miller been locking down some ludicrous amount of kills. I think for Super Charity, they've got almost nothing in the bank. They've got to try something aggressive here, but Strassers, just like we saw from the previous round, they are moving as a unit. 5 fingers curled into a fist. Super Charity, they're trying to look to find some sort of flank, but ultimately the A site is just left bare.
Yeah, they have control of the bomb side. However, HP and man advantage is going to be in favor of Super Charity, so that might be with saving grace. Zuzkill does
What?
not connect. And somehow, we're in a 5v2 now. Evo and Bilbo gotta pick up the pieces from here, but they're not really near the side. If they wanted to, they could just defuse on the Super Charity side, and that's exactly what they are going for. They got all kills anyways, so ultimately it doesn't really matter, but Super Charity picking up another round.
Alright, I mean, I was pretty much ready to write off Super Charity there, but no. Alright. So this is still up and a conversation still. You know, map point is still going to be in place for Strassers for a while. I think if anything, Teddy, you know, this is the time where we might see a Strassers squad that's perhaps a little overconfident, give more ground than they should, and give Super Charity the tiniest of windows to come back in.
Well, let's see what they come up with this round. An early smoke here to block off main and just give them a little bit more positioning, but somehow they rush through that smoke and Chaos just picks up a very casual two-piece.
Alright, Super Charity!
That's the ace!
Wow, that's unbelievable. So, I mean, if nothing else, however Glasgow Caledonia leave this first map, they're going to leave it on a high because, oh my gosh, that is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, that definitely gives a bit of hope here for Super Charity. Cass popping off, and okay, maybe not the most serious bump side approach we've seen from Strassers this season. It does seem to work out the best here for Super Charity. Cal shuts down Marma early on though. Smoke will create a little bit of time to prevent any sort of aggressive push following that kill.
And Mama being the first one out. The AWPer being knocked down immediately, but Haxon able to get some revenge in short order. This time around, Super Charity seeming to have a much, you know, even here with a pretty good buyout of Strassers, they seem to have to be a lot more calm, cool, and collected, but Cal is going to be the icebreaker. Creates a little bit of room here on the B site, but I think we might see being transferred across as Cal gets an unexpected surprise. Slippers, she managed to creep up there and has really opened up the conversation again.
2-on-2 now, and the CTs have left the bomb site, meaning that again it's going to be a free bomb plant for Evo and Miller. Let's see if they can defend it afterwards. They have info already. Positioning is going to be discovered on the right hand side. They have a player in main, which is going to be very handy in that post plant. The player in the smoke might be unexpected. Nice tag to the main player. You're gonna have to play it very passively. No, they do find Evo as well, but the no-scope from Slippers, Bunny Hops, and the Taz.
Oh!
The taser is actually gonna work out here over the knife. And Haxon does have to defuse. He has a kit, so plenty of time here to lock this one in.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that tail end though. Haxon coming through absolutely clutch again. For the 4K. I mean, Kaz and Haxon in particular, as well as Slippers. I think Slippers managing to sneak it out the kill, really turned that whole round.
That no-scope was very impressive. Unfortunately, the knife did not really work out. Let's see, as we do seem to have a lot more of an A presence already this round. This could be a big push coming through here for Strassers, getting up close, and the taser is going to be completely outrange here.
Kaz is left to defend the site more or less by themselves. Probably so coming in from the side. Kaz getting approached from too many angles at once. And the Strassers' unmitigated aggression with Evo there to defend the flank. Actually loses out the tail end fight, which means that we're 2v3. Super Charity have to win this round. And they've got at least some equipment to make it happen. They need to land these shots, and Mama does.
Oh, the follow-up perhaps as well. Does have info. Did not manage to get the kill originally. Slippers just pushing through completely unaware. And Bilbo is going to get the closing kill with the tasers. Strassers closing out map number 1 with an impressive 13-9.
Oh wow, let's take a look through the remainder, or through the entirety of that first map, because, hey, that was quite the journey these teams took us on.
It's definitely been an interesting opening map, and honestly, Counter, I'm not expecting any less from map 2 and potential map 3.
Oh my gosh. I mean, the thing is, like, you can really just see we mentioned before, these are teams who are very geographically close to each other, all being teams, from the Glasgow region with the 3 universities there who've played each other before. But even in the context of just this single map, you can really see how those kind of relationships developed. We went from, very machine gun heavy play early on, and, some more memey knife dualies kind of set up into, I think by the tail end of the map, we were seeing some pretty serious CS happening.
I think they kind of had to as well, keep things under control. As you mentioned before the match even started, Strazzers, they do want to win this one, as much as they're trying to have fun. And I think they are also trolling a little bit more than Super Charity are. They have control of that decision making, whether they want to go for a little bit more of that cheesiness or actually close out the rounds. And at the end of the day, they managed to really do both in this match, and I'm all down for it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, of course. We did see that both of our teams, as you mentioned before, very comfortable with the pistols and the Zeus, and sometimes the old knifey spoony race. I do like, this round in particular was one which stuck out in my mind for being we had it all come back to some really, really close tail ends where it's just, 1 versus 1, and just being that little bit faster from the draw was everything.
Yeah, well, we had that Cass ace as well, which I thought was just absolutely spectacular. I was hoping we'd get one, at least in the series, and we already have one in our first map. But Strazzers, so far, looking a little bit more dominant, but I mean, only a 4 rounds of difference. I think that in map 2, which is going to be the map as well from Super Charity, they might stand a little bit of a chance.
Yes, so that will be Mirage we're heading onto off that one, but no, I agree. There's a lot to like from what despite Strathguy taking the win there. I think just having the overall, strong, very, very strong round. Haxton and Kaz in particular standing out, and having the potential to clutch back rounds, which I think Glasgow Caledonian really didn't have any business in winning, and will serve them very, very well in game 2.
Oh, that's very true. There were a few rounds here and there that were just really clutches. I think more so on the side of Super Charity because they had to, and that may also have inflated the score a little bit in their favor because they closed out more of the clutches, but for the most part, a lot of the rounds that were a bit more one-sided, they were just one-sided in favor of the Strazzers, and they did really well overall. Very good execution, some very good pushes, and all the trolling we were hoping to see.
Well, let's go into hyper serious mode and look at some of our stats from that previous game, because we need to pull out our specific MVPs. We can see that we over on the Glasgow Caledonian side of things. Cat managed to lock down the same amount of kills, but overall Haxton, I think those two were neck and neck in terms of being the most valuable players in the squad.
Yeah, I agree with you for sure. I mean, Cass had this phenomenal ace towards the end of the match. Wasn't quite enough, however, to defend things here, but nevertheless, we do have our overall MVP, which is probably going to be Miller, because they won that map as well, which is a little bit more important than kills, I guess.
I don't know. I think in the amount of good times delivered, I would say that Cal and Miller, we kind of do head into our map 2 then, where we've kind of got the 4 players in mind, from Strathclyde, Miller and Cal, Haxton, and Kaz from GCU. So we've kind of got ourselves a little bit of a 2v2 situation. I think, there's a lot to be said for just trying to make sure you enable those players as much as possible. And ideally, make sure they can get in the same amount of kills in map 2.
That's what they're going to be striving for, and I'm very curious to see what we will have onto Mirage, because we have some very varied strategies. I think we probably saw every single weapon in the game being played out in this opening map. So I want to see how they apply those sort of strategies and loadouts getting into map number 2, because on Mirage, you definitely have some possibilities for some fun plays as well around middle, if you want to go for some big underpass pushes, or if you want to try to boost into window. So I'm excited to see what kind of ideas they come up with, because I'm expecting just as much funkiness and trolling as we had in our opening set.
Well, gentle friends, the battle for Scotland. While we don't have the grand finals here today, we are, of course, in our penultimate day of competition. We will be taking a short break. When we return, we will be heading on to Mirage to see if Glasgow Caledonian can bring things back and bring the series to a full 3 games. Stay tuned. We'll be back momentarily with more CS2.
It's so hard to open my eyes. I'm blind to the light from the sky. I'm dealing with things I can't write. And all of you know it's been no easy road. But I keep working harder, going harder just to prove something. Burning out, I can't do shit for weeks. Guess I prove nothing. Everybody wants my work for free. I know you have the money. Things are looking different. I'm not
Welcome back, one and all, to the Battle for Scotland, day number 4. Counter-Strike is once more on the menu. My name is Counterfeit, along with Teddy. Teddy, our first game, it was full of a lot of action, amongst other things.
Yeah, well, I think that the problem when Zeus's and shotguns are good is that when you're doing a show match, it's the only thing you're going to be seeing, really. So, yeah, you know, a lot of pros are using Zeus's and shotguns at the moment, but it's a little bit more niche in certain close range areas of the map. Here, it was everywhere, every time, at any distance. If you could try it, they would. And we had some more successful moments than others, but at the end of the day, it was the Strazzers that managed to take our first map.
We'll be heading on to Mirage, Glasgow Caledonian University's choice for game number 2. Bear in mind, this is just a show match rather than the grand finals, which unfortunately was won by Strathclyde due to forfeit on the part of the University of Glasgow. I mean, but if you missed Anubis, you missed out on some pretty amazing stuff. On the Glasgow Caledonian side of things, of course, we had several 4Ks coming in, and of course, Kaz bringing out the ace, which wasn't too bad at all.
It was very impressive. I think it was like a 3 different weapons ace as well, if I'm correct. First was the M4, then switching to the Zeus, and then switching to the Deagle. And somehow they managed to make that work very nicely. So very impressive on their end.
So the first map went down at 13-6. Because like Glasgow Caledonian, I think it took them a little while to really find their feet after some extremely chaotic early rounds. But I think Teddy, you had a better read of it. I was writing off Glasgow Caledonian a lot earlier than they actually went down there. It felt like, if anything, being put back into a corner and being effectively dead in the first game made them play harder.
I think it may have been a mix of that and also just the fact that they switched over to CTE, which may have been a little bit more intuitive to them. I'm not entirely sure, but it just looked like as soon as they switched, they went from, I think they had 3 or 4 rounds, and then they won a few in a row, managed to build up a little bit of momentum, and actually managed to hold down those bomb sites, get a few successful retakes as well. So now, they're starting back into T-side, which is a little bit scary. But look at this, it's going to be a full-on confrontation in the mid. All 5 players of both teams are there. Besides actually the bomb, which is still stuck in spawn.
Oh, super charity. I mean, if you're going to look for a dance-off in mid, you've absolutely got the moves. That was absolutely beautiful. Bilbo being falling back there. The Glasgow have to win their map pick to stay in our show match. Otherwise, the Strazzers will finish off the night with the Battle for Scotland title and, of course, the on-stream wins, which will be the best for bragging purposes. Looks like we're going to have ourselves a running battle here, though, Teddy.
Yeah, well, it's a bit awkward when everyone's just waiting for their Zeuses to recharge. However, when you're outnumbered, it's going to be complicated because you only got 1 shot every 30 seconds, and it was not enough of seconds here for them to get to another shot. Nicely done. Super Charity picking up the pistol round. I'm calling it a pistol round, but there was not much pistols. But yeah,
they're kind of vaguely pistol shaped. But yeah, no, good job there from Mama. Managed to pick up a decent showing in the previous map. We'll see if they can continue on with that. We're seeing a little bit of a buy coming from Super Charity. They're not going too crazy. And we've got, the immediate push forward. They might actually be able to outflank the Strazzers entirely.
Yeah, but it's only 1 player, Wizard Zeus, which is not really going to be able to do the most. Actually, somehow still gets a 2-piece. So that works out quite nicely for Strazzers, all things considered. But the bomb is going to be planted. A bit of a stack there again. Molly not really going to be affecting the boosted player. Casto. It's a nice pickup onto Cal. The nade gets some big damage too. And the retake here is not going to be easy for Strazzers.
Yeah, they're game for it though. I mean, you've got the Deagles, they're pumping into the smoke. Haxton and Kaz are going to more or less finish off the job. Bilbo, last one standing. not able to make the follow. That's a big missed opportunity. Super Charity to get the second one in, with Kaz picking up the 3 SMG kills. That's a lot of extra money in the bank for Super Charity.
That's a Zeus paid for each player. At least.
Is that our unit of measurement? It's how many Zeuses can we bring to the next round?
That's how we count here now. Super Charity able to pick up yet another round. Very impressively done. Knife kill as well is a cherry on top of the cake. Let's see how this mid push goes though, as Super Charity is committing quite heavily. They do have Tropic. Oh, gonna get Zeus by Bilbo, pushing aggressively. That's gonna be a P90 in their hands as well.
Yeah, Miller providing some pretty solid defense. I think the site is eventually going to be taken, but with Stratus making minimal contribution or minimal commitment into this round, more Zeus action happening moment by moment. I think it's always Zeus o'clock here.
It certainly seems so. Bilbo, bit of an awkward position here. Should get spotted. Gets the kill actually. He has a player right below him. Needs to make sure it clears that out. Has the Zeus to do so. Goes for the jump. Misses the Zeus. But it's going down to the knife versus the P90. And somehow the knife wins that fight.
Wow. We had our concerns about how focused Strazzers would be coming out of the victory before us. Certainly Super Charity, very much the underdog team, but of all the players we've seen so far here on Mirage, which could well be the series ender for Strazzers, Bilbo seems to be keeping their head on their shoulders the most directly.
Yeah, it was a beautiful opening from Bilbo. Was that Zeus kill and making sure he picked up a weapon as well, because alright, not necessarily gonna be easiest. He didn't actually use that P90 at all. It was really just a Zeus and the knife. But hey, that's been the name of the game here for this series.
Boy. Alright, well, we've got ourselves a series of duels here. Haxton, of course, never goes to a duel without the duelees. Mid control seems to be a little spicy here, as Haxton will be looking out, trying to see if there's any room to be able to open up some space to come out of mid. Cal there, on the corner, just shuts things down straight away. Does spot another target and takes away most of Mama's HP immediately.
Axel did manage to get a nice no-scope earlier into Palace, giving him control of A side, but Bomb is going to be stuck in short. And that is a bit of an awkward position to get the control back. See if Axel can connect that shot. Does get the timing right. Gibbo peeks straight into it. And suddenly, it's back to a 1 versus 2.
Only problem is the bomb is not under Haxton's control. You see Cal is there just waiting with Evo moving up from the side, controlling the ramp and making sure there's very few ways in, but Haxton gets the shot. I have to assume, well, Haxton's thinking it's got to be the Evo's around the bomb as well, so it's taking the route, more circular route, to try and make sure that he doesn't get killed straight away.
Yeah, I tried to do a bit of a bait here with the sound running towards Market, but I don't think that Evo was close enough to hear that, and Evo might get a timing as well. He's right behind him. He wants that Zeus skill very badly.
He's behind you.
There's no time. There's no time anyways. 5 seconds left. There's no way.
Looking for the shot, but yeah, just not going to happen. That's got to be disappointing there. Haxton had a hell of a round with the 3K. We're trading 3Ks back and forth between the teams. That leaves us 2-2.
That was a very nice try. Just time kind of, yeah, it's a factor that he did not keep in mind here. Eventually, automatically wins that round for Strazzers. Let's see. Round number 5 can go a different way, as we're all even now on the scoreboard.
We will be seeing the Strazzers going in for a little bit of a bye for this round. See, the long-range fight is going to be a little bit iffy as Haxton gets taken out early on. I mean, that's the death knell for Super Charity already. They were relying so much on Haxton to carry them in the previous round.
Cal got a wallbang as well into Kitchen. Nicely done. Ooh. Nicely done. A clean round here from Strazzers. No one dropping, and that's going to be a huge boost for their economy. Not that they necessarily invested the more usual way, let's say. as we still have a lot of interesting weaponry on their hands.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was a hell of a showing from Stratus. For Super Charity, I think they're going to be a little sore out of the last one. Looks like we'll be seeing a heavy A push coming in, which, as we can see, is going to work out pretty well. Molly will buy a few more seconds, but I don't think Stratus have seen the play coming quite as yet. They may not realize that all of Super Charity are here.
About last line of defense here for the A-bomb side. Trying to get back through the smoke. Bilbo actually gets a nice kill into connector. Just be careful. As Evo and Tropic each get a kill. Somehow bring things to a 3-on-3, but a bit of a weird flank, and Hexton gets a 2-piece with the scout.
That is brutal. And gets number 3. Haxon calls down fire from the heavens, breaks the 3-round streak. And Glasgow Caledonian on their map pick are still up and fighting. Haxon with 8 kills so far, outstripping anybody else on the server.
Axton is playing really well. He was one of the highlight players, getting a few clutches in Anubis just earlier. So far, he's bringing that heat even earlier into the match, and that might just be what Super Charity needed.
You can see this time around Stratus, they're defending the A a little bit more fiercely. Gibbo heading down to check out ramp, but they've actually conceded ground into the mid. Super Charity very good at taking space away. Smoke by a little bit more room, and complete mid control. They've actually managed to sneak past. Haxon is dropped, but they've gotten onto the site. Gibbo keeps themselves alive. Tropico is going to come and try and trade.
Oh, the wallbang battle there was the LMGs, rather. And somehow it is going to be Count that wins that one. Cast get a kill into Miller as well, so it's a 2 versus 3. They're all stacked into window and waiting just for one thing. And there's the 2 skill from Marma. Count drops dead, and it's only Evo left alive here. Was not all that much to work with, just waiting patiently with the Zeus.
A little bit of a victory cry from Super Charity, taking the lead. That's gonna feel pretty amazing. Evo looking to try and come in and spoil the party. Doesn't quite get the job done. Low HP, which will actually mean that Super Charity will only make it out with a 1 LMG for the round, but still, the round win is good. 2 in a row, puts them ahead 4-3.
Yeah, the money is not actually that great for Super Charity, so it might matter a little bit, but considering we don't see any M4s or AKs typically, it probably shouldn't matter too much. They still got an AWP, they still got an AK, so at the end of the day, it's not that bad. They will be bringing in the first auto shotgun, I think, that we have seen from this map. We did see plenty of it in Anubis, but I think it's our first here on Mirage.
Yeah, well, we're seeing the power of the short-range firepower. Tropico managed to get 2 before being put down. A control has been seized. And it seems here on the map pick of Glasgow Caledonian University, Super Charity, they are really, really comfortable again with just rushing in, overwhelming the defenders. And while Evo continues to be a thorn in their side, maybe Super Charity actually don't have this one anymore.
Yeah, it's a 2-on-1 now. Haxon though, he's been able to close those out before. Might just do it again. I'm gonna go for like a connector smoke. Might be window. Yeah, I think it's towards. Yeah, it's just in the middle. I think he messed it up. Looking at the map, I think he just failed it. Like it is like just in the middle. Maybe it's just a mid smoke. But right
it's
now,
a strategic diversion smoke. That's my headcanon. The plant is going directly into trouble. Oh my gosh. The streak is over before it ever really got to begin. I think the problem I've got here, Teddy, is that I think Super Charity came into this one expecting to be able to pick up a good amount of rounds on the T half. But so far, 4-4, I don't know if this is good enough to keep the series from ending here.
Well, to be fair, it is more rounds than they got on their T side of Anubis. So, it is good to that extent. And they still managed to bring it 13-9. So if they pick it up another few rounds, honestly, I might just believe in it.
Mama!
That works.
It's gonna make a believer out of all of us. A beautiful headshot there. And again, Super Charity, they are all over mid in a hurry. But this time, they haven't been able to completely lock down any kind of retaliation. Looks like they might be making a fighting retreat over to the A site, where Gibbo will be waiting for them. They certainly don't like the amount of bullets coming in from B.
Nixon getting tagged up heavily. He's gonna try to go for a smoke here. Not really sure how useful that will be. I think he missed it as well. It bounced a little bit too far, and Gibbo got a nice angle to take him down. Gibbo with a double. Gibbo with the triple kill. Very nicely done, and I think this shows us a little bit what those players are capable of when they use real weapons.
I think that's that's fair, honestly. I mean, Stratas, yeah, I mean, they showed us exactly what, I mean, in that last round, was just look back through it again. Even when Super Charity managed to, show signs they might be able to salvage the round, I think it's just Stratas at any moment can turn on this kind of level of intensity. I'm glad to see them at least do it from time to time.
Oh, that nade is going to be brutal. A lot of damage coming through, but players swarming into B side. However, the kills all going in the same direction. And it's all left to Cass in a 1v5. Not one he should be allowed to do anything in, as Bilbo shuts him down, and that makes it probably the quickest round yet in the series.
Oh boy, so our half is going to be almost done here with Stratas. I mean, picking up ahead of steam, this is the worst case scenario for Super Charity to go into the second half, having to fight back on their own CT. I mean, Haxon, has been doing really well, and we have got Marmot and Cats for Super Charity who've been stepping up, along with Tropsco. The kill spread is actually pretty even across Super Charity squad. As we come charging in again, Super Charity come out the best from that exchange.
Yeah, it seems like Super Charity are playing a little bit more serious this round. We actually got 3 AKs and an SG, which is a pretty normal buy. Tropic popping off already his 3rd kill into this round, and that molly is going to be absolutely brutal. Cal needs to be quick on the smoke, but the nade is there to finish him off anyways. And Super Charity now was a very quick round of their own.
When was this Super Charity before? That was incredibly well executed. Good God. Well, we need to see that over again, because they just came in like a hurricane. And you just saw, like, when they were dropping the Stratas members, you had 3 members all shooting the same person. That was incredible coordination. As we're going to switch things over. Super Charity. Hope begins anew.
Yeah, Super Charity definitely playing more serious now, and I think that Stratas is trying to catch up on that, and slowly are going for some more serious buys as well. 2 M4s and an AWP. Looks more like a typical Counter-Strike round to me. However, it is Super Charity a man down now. Miller might be caught off guard here. We're actually going to see a knife kill, I believe. Oh my god. Waiting
you want to
for
make sure they remember you.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure that he lives in his head rent-free for the rest of the night. Bit of a crossfire though here that could get dangerous for Miller. But so far, so good. And Slippers is going to try to slowly drift towards B, it seems like. He got control of the bomb. Now he's going to run into some action into the mid. The Zeus is not going to connect. Jumping shot from Evo somehow will. And a headshot to close out the half here. 7-5 in favor of Strassers.
Oh boy. Yeah, you can see there Cal rock out the top of the scoreboard. With Haxon, they're pretty comparable in terms of overall performance. I do like, again, as we mentioned before, that we are seeing that from the Glasgow side of things, we do enjoy the Slippers special here. Oh, we want to drink in that moment.
Yeah, the only thing that could have topped that is they jumped on top of their head at that moment of time and just waited for them to realize it. They couldn't stand up again. But yeah, maybe next time. Maybe next time. We have a heavy push into B apps, it seems like, and never mind.
Oh.
Actually drifting towards mid, and Miller is going to get the opening kill with a nice headshot onto Marma.
Yeah, I mean, Strats is showing us a little bit what Supercharged were doing on their own T half. I think we're seeing a double fake out.
They're moving back to top mid, and actually going the long way towards A. I mean, it's a move. It seems like Slippers might be ready for it. He's going to have some information here. He's going to hear them running into Palace. They have 2 players ready to lock down that site. everyone from Super Charity rotating back towards A, but Slipper finds one, Axum finds another split, Slippers makes it a double actually. A triple looking for the fourth, but Miller gets a nice two-piece to bring things back to a 1v2. Let's see if a play is possible here from Miller. Needs 2 quick headshots, but it's not meant to be. Pistol round goes the way of Super Charity.
All right, I'm absolutely here for it. I love that little interaction you can see there at the tail end there. They're both looking at each other and saying, all right, you know the voice comes from them coordinating to make sure they swung out at the same time and guaranteed the kill. I really like what we're seeing here. I mean, Haxon, still definitely the star player at the moment for Super Charity, but, again, 7 to 8 kills across the entirety of the rest of the team. This is definitely a multi-threat setup Super Charity have got. And they've at least brought in a little bit to the round as well.
Heavy mid presence from the T's so far. Window smoke is going to enable them to slowly gain some control. Need to be careful of under though, as Tropic is hanging out there, getting some good damage out, and actually Marma gets that pickup onto Gibbo very nicely. Trying to perhaps push into apps as well. However, that might not quite work out as nicely as we have some kills here and there, and just a single man advantage here for Super Charity.
Yeah, Strazzers would love to be able to get in a few more SMG kills before this one is done. Super Charity still need to be careful here, as Miller will at least be able to get the kill in. Tropical trades back immediately, but Strazzers actually getting the planting off of this round is a small miracle.
Oh, another LMG kill, and that's gonna settle it for this round. Super Charity able to get a nice post-plant retake. And eventually here, tie up the series, or rather the map, 7-7.
Yeah, I mean, Glasgow Caledonian University and Super Charity, they did choose to to take the T side to start off here. So we are expecting big things from the CT side, but we can see, after that last round, Haxton, Cat, Tropics, they're all looking pretty damn good. It looks like we're going to be seeing, some pretty hefty equipment being loaded up here for Super Charity. For the most part, I think they're holding back a decent amount of cash, knowing that Strazzers can still be a threat, even with minimal loadout.
L hanging out top mid, there's going to be some heavy apartments presence, but Tropic just shuts it down with a quick spray. Cal does find Cass. She's going to bring a little bit of hope back for Super Charity, but pushing through the Negev is a bit of a dangerous game. However, it's not unlimited ammo in that Negev, and eventually they are able to pierce through with just a one player. I don't think they know about Evo's position, but now that he's shot, surely they know. And Marma gets a nice kill. Cal able to get the trade. 1v2, there is still a player on site. One in kitchen. Molly here might come in handy, but Slipper still lands the headshot onto Cal. And Super Charity make it another round.
Yeah, I'm really getting my attention drawn by Slippers in this one, because it seems like really, again, keeping nerve in a way that's so important. I thought this could be a disaster though. I mean, Tropico did a great job of locking down the approach to the site, but once Strazzers got on there, I think it feels like Super Charity, if they can maintain control and keep things on their own terms, they do very well. But once it gets into chaos mode, then they do it just a touch less well.
This is the first eco that we see of this entire match, really. I don't think we had a single eco in Anubis. There would always be, a Zeus, a Deagle, a Negev, a Nova, whatever they could get their hands on. The first real eco here was a little bit of a half-buy from 2 players. And somehow it is working out for Strazzers, despite most of their plays not even having Kevlar. Super Charity have been giving away guns left and right, and the man advantage as well, turning it into a 3v1. This might be a near full eco win here for Strazzers.
I mean, Slippers has been the player we've been praising. It looks like they are going to risk it and try and... I think they're just sort of hoping they can catch someone. Try the ball. A heartbeat too late, but Cal, with a 3k in this round, has been the absolute menace of Strathclyde. Just has been knocking down kill after kill after kill. I think having a player like that in pocket is so important to make sure that Super Charity can't get away with anything.
This is such a huge round for the economy because all they invested in that round was like a couple Tech 9s. I think 2 players had body armor, no helmet, and maybe a Mac 10 or something like that. Like, that's a great round for them to pick up. Now, Beckel leaving on the scoreboard. Bilbo with a nice kill onto Marma, but quickly traded out. It's a bit chaotic around side. Evo trying to get that kill near Firewood, but this is eventually looking like it might go the way of Strasser. At least a man advantage. Another kill there onto Tropic, and it's Haxon all alone.
Oh boy, Haxon, yeah, knowing the enemies are all around. I think just has to determine how dearly to sell alive. Oh, that's so frustrating. Haxon ends up with nothing. Strasser sees back the lead. Pick up the second round of the half. I think we're starting to see a building up of momentum here, Teddy, for Strasser, that may well be hard to stop.
Yeah, they got some really huge rounds, and their economy is completely thriving now as well. Super Charity are going to have to be very careful here, and it's going to be an eco of their own that follows up as they need to save up for a big buy round. They had all the chances on their side. And all they got to work with here is a couple Deagles and a Scout, and somehow the Deagles might just be enough as Marma gets a nice opening kill into Miller.
Hey, not too bad. I think Marma a little too pleased with themselves after that last round. The adrenaline flooding in. Super Charity, no. This is a do or die. Their map pick. But Cal, the callous Cal, comes through and again does some dream crushing as Kaz is dropped. Marma, we need to see some more miracles forthcoming. Hopefully some sort of weapon swipe. Slippers has managed to get hold of the AK. Super Charity have got a slim but real chance.
Gibbo, pick up onto Tropic. Marma needs this skill, but Gibbo's gonna be the one winning that duel. Leaving Slippers all alone in a 1v2, gets 1 out of the 3 players, but eventually Cal puts things to an end here, and Strassers are getting closer and closer to taking this match. Every round here is going to be ever so important if Super Charity want to have a chance at winning this match, or at least at going to a round 3.
Yeah, we've got Nuke waiting for us if the third map is available for the show match, but Cal has been absolutely going off. I do not think at this point Super Charity can afford to take any 1v1s against Cal, because he's just too damn good with those shots. Haxon, though, is going to try and equalize the score 2-for-1 in the early trade. Cal is still in play with the AWP, but Super Charity, this could be their round.
Marma getting into ladder room, and he did manage to spawn Cal top mid. Cal gets a nice pick up onto Slippers. Tries to pre-fire on that right hand side, and the next pre-fire is actually going to cost him his life. Out of ammo and no longer in scope. Marma has a free kill in their hands, and it's all down to Evo. Currently, very busy camping Palace with Zeus.
I mean, that's exactly what Super Charity needed. 1v1, I just don't think Cal can be beat, but 2v1, it's a whole different story. You saw Cal start to panic a little bit, and Super Charity, they are seemingly about to break the 3-round streak of the University of Strathclyde, the Strassers. I think Evo's just going to wait this one out because there's nothing much more left to say.
They know that the eco is also a bit fragile in Super Charity, so they want to stick together on that bomb side, but nevertheless, Axon actually goes down. Spotted jumping out of Palace. Inside now, once that plan doesn't have a lot of time, but enough to get that pickup.
Way.
And now suddenly there's a chance. He turned that into a 1v1, but a wallbang from Marma is absolutely on point. And the round is going to be picked up by Super Charity, alas.
I mean, that's the pistol waggle of a player who knows they did a hell of a job in that previous round. Look at the kill spread, though, on Super Charity. We've got a range of 2 on the team between the highest and lowest fragging players. That's amazing. And Super Charity, they seem very far now from being written off of this second map.
This positioning in mid from Marma and Cal. There's no winning that duel against the AWP. Marma finds a double, actually. It's a great way to start that round off with a 2-player advantage in favor of Super Charity.
Alright, well, apparently Mama's been learning lessons. Holy crap! Alright, apparently there's a new AWPer in town. Mama just demolishes Strazzers, looking for a few more kills. Strazzers now got a new possibility to contend with. Mama very aggressively moving forward, buying time for Kaz to go for the flank.
Very awkward op duel in the smoke. It's not going to be an idea that Mama really wants to pursue here. Looking to jump back into window. Actually heading their way towards short. Let's see what the T's have in mind here. As they are still a little bit stuck here around B apps, but they have places they can go towards. Potentially push out towards Hackstone that's hanging out in TV. Let's see what they decide to do here.
Alright, Strazzers, you got the 2 remaining. Looks like they're going to try and go for the plant. Tropics is taken out of contention, but Mama has been on a tear through this round. 3 kills so far, gets clocked and down to minimal health, but still going to stay in play. The plan is good for Strazzers, as Mama will finally be removed from the field.
Oh, Evo gets 2, Evo gets
standing.
3. No way. He does it!
Oh my god!
Insane! I don't know if that was a 1v3 or 1v4, but somehow Strazzers closed out that round, and actually that is huge, because now money is crushed here for Super Charity, and they're contemplating here if they want to go for Bauer and Eco. They have an op, but the rest of the team is sitting on Deagles and 5-7s.
I think you got it exactly right. That's such a crucial turning point in this whole series. Super Charity now going to have to give up more rounds on a map they cannot afford to lose. Puts this series being very close to being over. Cal steps forward to demonstrate face-to-face versus Mama who's the better crack shot. But the equipment is not even a little bit close. Super Charity, they need a miracle.
Big push towards short here. Tropic does find 1, nearly gets a second, but a no-scope from Evo. It's gonna shut him down. A nice pickup from Slippers, another no-scope. Seems like they're going all ops, no-scopes here. That's not really a strategy that I was to say works, but somehow does for Strazzers as they get to match point.
I mean, you gotta throw everything at the wall if you're Super Charity in particular. 9-12. You mentioned before, our first encounter, especially if we hadn't had those last few rounds of Super Charity, wouldn't have been that close. 13-6. Super Charity showing us something pretty different here on Mirage. Nuke would be our 3rd map, but Strazzers are coming in like a wrecking ball and instantly get 2, but turn back just as quickly.
Ass actually gets 4 kills there. And he actually might just make it another ace, but Cal somehow manages to survive with 23 HP, pick up that kill, has information on the 1 player at stairs. The grenade is going to be flawless. It's not going to be enough for the pickup. The headshot was the AK-47. Definitely will, though. Last player is in Palace. Is there a chance he wins that? He's not looking in the right place, and Marma is going to save the day here for Super Charity as they fight off that first match point.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have asked for more from Kaz in that last round. That was absolutely beautiful. Strazzers threw the full force of their fury against them, but Super Charity held the line. I think, if anything, this just shows the Strazzers that while they may be 1 round away from claiming the series, that round can feel like an awful long way.
Well, they still got more work to do, though, as every mistake here could just be their last, but somehow another no-scope from Hackstone. It's a scout this time. Able to get a nice pickup. There was another one as well towards mid, and that means now a 3v5 for Strazzers is getting things closer and closer to a potential overtime coming up.
Yeah, I feel like that's almost certainly on the cards. As Slippers, she is absolutely amazing at finding a way around the back of enemy formations and stealing out kills. You don't need to be able to shoot better, you just need to place your opponents. Super Charity, they move into 1 round away from bringing us to our first overtime of this show match.
And with the money being what it is right now, they might afford 1 AK, but that's about all they can get. It's gonna be mainly pistols on the side of Strazzers, and that is a bit of a problem here, considering, well, they have the chance to close out the match right here, right now. And indeed, it's gonna be 1 AK, 1 Galil, and then the rest is Tech 9 and Mac 10 and an RA8, so it's not looking like a very promising buy, but they've done more with less in the past.
Boy, I mean, this is not the round that Strazzers would have liked to be fighting for their lives in. I don't like that they're going in so aggressively for apartments. Face to face, Miller does at least get a kill back, but it's incredibly risky. And Super Charity, I wanted to say they were coming out of that one ahead. Miller doesn't win out the fight. Strazzers are still pouring in everything they have.
Zeus kill on side brings things back even. Even though it is a bit chaotic, it is a 2-on-2 and a chance. A beautiful headshot from Marma, the last player alive here. He's gonna go for the knife kill, but it's not gonna work out. Evo finds him, leaving Evo in a 1v2 here. A 1v1 actually.
Way.
Sorry, against Hackstun, and he might be making a run for it. But Evo knows.
Got 9 HP. Haxon just needs 1 bullet, and with that bullet, Super Charity will bring us to overtime. This series is still up in the air. University of Strathclyde, that won the first map, Glasgow Caledonian University, have the chance to bring back the second.
Well, it really seems like that T-sign being so much better from Super Charity compared to Anubis is really paying off now, because we know that CT side is super strong, but the problem was getting those T rounds, which they did so much better here on Mirage compared to Anubis just earlier. So very well done. We're going to overtime, and now they're going to be striving to go for that full buy for one of the first times we've seen in this entire match where everyone has a normal weapon on Super Charity's side.
I mean, all it took was that overtime bank balance to get us there, to force our players to bring out a more standard lineup. We'll have to see which one of these it ends up favoring the most, because certainly we'd expect to see Strazzers be pretty strong, but Kaz getting in the first kill of overtime. Remember, 4 overtime rounds will cinch the map. It's looking like Super Charity, they've got the momentum.
Yeah, we know as well that Super Charity's defense is going to be much better than their T side, so they want to make sure they just get as much work done as possible here on CT. They can get 2, if not 3 rounds. That would really help them have a standing. Getting into the later stages of overtime. Oh, awkward situation here for Slippers. Pulling out the knife as Bilbo turns around. And somehow we are in a 3v2 now in favor of Strazzers.
Kaz has been doing some really good work, but yeah, Strazzers, I mean, they've got the site pretty much under control, so it's going to take some hugely risky moves for Super Charity to make it back in. You need some pinpoint precision. Utilities start to run dry as Bilbo does get dropped. Kaz up to 3 kills in this round, but time is running out.
Nice kill from Miller. Unexpected position, and Axon was completely focused elsewhere. They're gonna sweep this one. And even though, I was gonna say they might lose Evo to the bomb blast, he will survive anyways and bring out that auto shotgun for another round, I guess. Most importantly, saving that op though by Bilbo that he managed to pick up and market. It's gonna be very, very nice getting into this round as Strazzers are slightly out-aging Super Charity once again. Super Charity, they still got it in them, and Marma was a beautiful opening kill, bringing the chances more equal here towards Super Charity.
Keeping an eye most closely on Cal from the Strazzers side of things. An absolutely monstrous sniper being enabled there by their teammate. And Super Charity try and take the fight on the site. Cal drops down another one before being driven out of this particular round, but still, Strazzers, they've got all the positioning they need to. Kaz is still in play, but heavily wounded. Super Charity, very much on the ropes.
3v2, and Strazzers once again with the advantage. Haxton has been hurt, but somehow still manages to win that fight. Expecting Evo to be camping there. Don't really know how or where he got that information from, but it works out well for him. However, HP-wise, it is still very much favorable to Strazzers as Cass and Haxton. I mean, combined of 34 HP, which puts them in a pretty dire situation.
I mean, for Super Charity, they need to be taking... They can't afford to take any face-to-face fights. We need ambushes the whole way. Kaz going to be standing pretty much in the doorway. Going to get smoked off. Haxton coming in from the back. This is the perfect setup for Super Charity. They can't win a face-to-face fight, but you don't need to.
Yeah, very well done. Somehow everyone was focused on to Cass, and that gave so much space for Haxton to just navigate through, get that flank, and play some mind games with them. Super Charity getting around back, and we talked earlier about how important I think it is here for Super Charity to make the CT side count in overtime, and so far, I mean, at least they got the one round.
Yeah, I was about to say, you said it really well, that for Super Charity, we expected to see their best play on the CT side of overtime. If they dropped 2 rounds in a row, that would have been an absolute disaster. Super Charity open things up. They are expecting to see Strazzers going in aggressively, deny that with the molly, and take mid-control at the same time.
Excellent. Sitting in Palace, Wizard Zeus does need to be careful. Somehow makes it out alive. Never mind, Evo catches him through the smoke. Range spray not really working out as Cass gets that pickup. Makes it a double and keeps the hope alive here for Super Charity's defense, which is going quite well, especially when Slippers is hitting those shots.
Yeah, wow, that was very, very nicely done. So Super Charity will come out of that first half of our first overtime with the advantage, as we would have expected. We've been looking back to our first half. It wasn't a massive overrun for Strazzers. They ended out 7 rounds on their CT half versus, let's see, I believe it was, 7 rounds for Glasgow on theirs. So everything being the same as it was in our regulation style play, I think we could even end up going to a second overtime.
Well, let's see how this first CT side round is going to go for Strazzers, as they're still trying to close things in only 2 maps. Super Charity hungry to take this to Nuke. Util being placed down here onto the A side, and a push is going to be coming through any second now with Nova somehow, which is going to be a bit of a nightmare at that range, but Gibbo gets a 2-piece, and that's already looking much better for Strazzers.
I mean, Super Charity very much announced their presence, but holy crap! Opening up with the Hellfire! But that was a brutal round. The first CT round going across to the University of Strathclyde brings us back dead even. Jeez.
That's the nice thing with the Negev, is you can just kind of shoot wherever you might even think someone might be. As he did manage to get some kills here and there. I love how he went to check the back as well, even though there was absolutely no one there. But, you know, you never know. You never know. It might just work out for you.
We also have the instructions on the screen. Aim higher, because sometimes you'll hit someone in the head.
That is a very good point. That is a very good point. All right, let's see here. Heavy mid presence, and Negev as well at play, but Millar early on was a kill there onto Haxton, and Marmot Tropic, both quite low HP.
Ooh. Yeah, Cal taking the 1v2 duel, coming out of that one still pretty clean. And Super Charity's momentum might have just been stopped here as Gibbo, just the absolute master, goes face-to-face Cats. Last one standing against the 3 remaining players, but we are going to move back into the same place we were before, Teddy. If we see Strazzers lock down this final kill, they will be back on a series point round.
Cass crouching there, may have just saved his life. Bilbo is still closing the gap. Cass gets that kill. He's flashed, unaware of Bilbo's presence. Bilbo really wants to go for that knife kill, I think. It's just going to be a matter of time, yeah, until Cass turns around, and Bilbo does not want to mess around to see that happening. Strazzer's back onto match point, and Super Charity with their backs against the wall once more.
I mean, given that this is a show match, and we're looking forward in the to these teams facing each other again at the Battle of Glasgow coming up, they are giving us a hell of a show, particularly here on the second map. Just ferocious counter-striking. I think we're about to see another round, which is more of the same.
Looking like a very aggressive push there out of Palace, but already a two-piece from Gibbo, from Bilbo rather. Gibbo getting a kill of their own. Casto gets a two-piece of his own, bringing things back to a 2-on-2. Maybe a chance, but a nice pickup from Kel. And things are still looking bleak here.
Last one standing, make a miracle happen, stride forward into the smoke. On the other side lies Glory and a bullet. Strazzers will take the Battle for Scotland crown and the Battle for Scotland show match. That was a worthy second map, though. Congratulations to Super Charity for an extremely well-played game.
Yeah, and thank you as well, for giving us some real Counter-Strike gameplay as well towards the end. We had a few really good rounds, very, very entertaining. And, I mean, we had all the trolling we wanted to see in Anubis. I love that we got Mirage to be a little bit more serious and just a little bit more, great plays all around.
Oh, boy. I mean, as we were talking about before, with the Battle for Glasgow, these two teams will be seeing each other face to face. They'll have long memories about what has passed here today, but I mean, we still got plenty of Zeus action, at least in the early going, but what the teams were trying for in these later rounds was tremendously more ambitious than just the kind of more scrappy, brawling play.
I think at some point, Super Charity started playing a little bit more serious, buying real weapons and, going for some actual strategies. And then Strazzers, they kept trolling for another round or two, but eventually caught up to that, and where they're like, okay, well, if you guys are going to play a bit more serious, so will we. And it led to a really nice end of that match, bringing us all the way into overtime, in the last round of overtime, as a matter of fact, for Strazzers to close out the series.
Oh, boy. Still, though, it's such an interesting situation, to be in a general esports sense. Super Charity very much came into this one as the underdog team. I do feel like the most important thing a team can ever have is to show signs of growth. And I think from Super Charity, they got to be put into some really high pressure situations here and show that they could perform, and fight back out of the corner. I mean, there were plenty of, knives in the back and Zeus shots, but, some really clutch rounds as well.
Yeah, it was a fun time all around, with some moments a bit more competitive than others, but for the most part, I think that, it's nice that everyone showed up and played great and was willing to think out the box a little bit as well, to be entertaining with some of their ideas, and especially when it came down to the choice of weaponry we've had in a lot of those rounds. It did show a little bit of how the Zeus can be very strong at the moment, but sometimes you might have guns that have a little bit more range and will be a little bit more valuable.
I mean, I think that's the thing. We've got two teams where they've got so much history between the two of them. When it's such a personal game, I think there's something to be said for getting up close and personal and making it clear, the person who killed you was mere breaths behind you.
Yeah, I love that they had the same intentions already in the first round, They didn't have to, see that, oh, they are only playing with Zeus, so should we? They were exactly in the same vibe from the first round. And then very quickly, when everything's got a little bit more serious on Mirage, both teams were playing more serious as well. So I think it was a lot of fun, very varied match overall, with just a lot of different sort of content. So yeah, I had a lot of fun here.
Yeah, and again, I loved here on Mirage in particular. We had the 7-5 on both halves of the game to bring us to overtime in the first place. Hopefully, for Glasgow comes in, they can build on that, because on a slightly different day, as we're talking about during the overtime, it could easily have gone to a second overtime. And once that happens, it's completely up in the air as to which team is going to win it. Particularly, if you start sending your mind towards, that third map, if you start thinking, okay, you know what, we don't need to go completely all out here. We've got a map in hand. We can go to a third game instead.
I really wanted to see that knife round on Nuke, because those players, they seem really good with knifing and Zeusing. So that would potentially have been the most serious round of the match, and I think that would have been awesome to watch. But unfortunately, no Nuke. They closed in 2 sets, and overall, just a great performance from the Strazzers.
Well, let's go and take a look at some of our stats coming out of that last game as well, because we want to be able to award ourselves some game MVP. So let's see. So in terms of last time round, we had Haxon coming in for CGU, and for Strathclyde, it was Cal. Looks like Cal's been able to take the most damage out of both of these maps overall in the series.
Only out edging his teammate Bilbo by 8 ADR, so actually quite close here. But to be fair, they were both very valuable, and I think it comes back to some of the stuff you said in Anubis, where it seemed to be kind of a 2v2 when it came to the top fraggers, where it was Marman Haxon on one side, and then on the other side, Evo and Bilbo. It feels like a little bit of the same story here when it came down to Mirage as well, where we had a lot of, that sort of 2v2 actions with some of those players getting insane clutches at times, and then at other moments, the rest of the team stepping in when they needed to.
Oh, well, at least it ended up functionally being a elaborate crowning ceremony for the University of Strathclyde there. As to what is, as to make it very clear that they have emerged on top. But again, if you want the full conclusion of the Strathclyde University of Glasgow saga, you'll have to wait for the Battle of Glasgow. In terms of here, though, at the Battle for Scotland, we still do have one more day to go. We mentioned before, right back at the beginning, the Rocket League Best of 7. That's Glasgow Caledonian University returning versus the University of Glasgow. Of course, not the same players, but the university's returning to battle out for one more crown overall. So I hope you'll come and join us for that. Of course, it'll be the same time, 7 o'clock tomorrow here on this very same channel. My name's been Canopy, joined here by Teddy, and our thanks, of course, to all of our fabulous friends in charge, working all the wonderful production teams and observers as well for making today's event possible. Please, of course, drop a follow if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for Rocket League.
I can feel the power, I can feel the power. Feel the power. Yeah, money that is time and hour. Yeah, I better activate the power. I'ma activate it, gotta make it, gotta chase it. I don't care what they be saying, I'ma do it now. And I've been really saving, I ain't giving up and I ain't giving in. Do it now for the dividends, I'll be on the path. I just gotta get it, cause I got my mind on some bigger things. So man, I ain't gonna give in now, I just gotta live this now. I be gonna be, man, I'ma kill this stuff real quick. I'ma go take it to town, cause I gotta be that king in the ring. When I'm knocking it out, when I'm back with the wheel. Cause I am just up on the journey, you just know that I'm just going insane. So there's some things that I might see, and when I do, I could never get no sleep. Cause I just need to get it, man, I need to be the thing that I just painted out, man, you won't go see. See my vision, I'll be in it, I'ma kill it, I'ma take it all. Coming in, I'ma play it now, I'ma kill him dog, I'ma play the ball. Cause I gotta go and get him and I really just need it. Tell these guys that they can beat it, I'ma give it, I'ma grab it, man. Take it, never receive it, I'ma make it mine. I'm explosive like a mine, I've been working every time. Yeah, I do it on the grind, I'ma shine, yeah, every single day. I'ma kill this competition cause I'm going so insane. Hey, I really go so insane. Yeah, I guess really ran through the pain, but I'm just back on my path and I fixed it now. It's really okay. So I ain't gonna waste my chance and just my time. So I'ma be a monster. I'ma kill him. This is mine. Yeah. I got a million desires that I just need to go achieve. I just need to acquire. So I've been climbing up this ladder. Yes, I'm going up higher. I need to do it till the day that I might retire. Taylor about the fucking flex.
Agarrados de la mano mientras al viento, pienso lo vivido en todos los momentos. Ahora por la noche solo sueño ese concierto que cambie la historia de nuestro cuento. Agarrados de la mano mientras al viento, pienso lo vivido en todos los momentos. Es que no lo sé si estoy mejor sin ti. Es lo que te decía, llamarte de tus mentiras y creo que no eres para mí. Es que no lo ves, que estoy mejor sin ti. Es lo que tú querías, aunque no me lo decías. Y yo sé que no eres para mí. Na, na, na. La madre de mis hijos te llamaba antes, pero nuestro era un amor de farsantes. Tú solo querías los billetes y diamantes. Nunca será lo que éramos antes. Aunque me lo suplique no vamos a volver. Tú me hacías daño, no quería ver que fue todo un papel. Quería besarte y perder el conocimiento, pero me conozco y sé que a mi corazón le miento. Ya no me valen todos sus lamentos. Se te ha acabado el tiempo. Y es que tú sabías que iba a pasar. No llores más. Agarrados de la mano mientras al viento, pienso lo vivido en todos los momentos. Ahora por la noche solo sueño ese concierto que cambie la historia de nuestro cuento. Agarrados de la mano mientras al viento, pienso lo vivido en todos los momentos. Es que no lo sé si estoy mejor sin ti. Es lo que te decía, llamarte de tus mentiras y creo que no eres para mí. Es que no lo ves, que estoy mejor sin ti. Es lo que tú querías, aunque no me lo decías. Y yo sé que no eres para mí. Na, na, na. No eres para mí.